I'm going to go clean up my water bottle and get water.
All right, buddy. Good night. Love you.
Am I at least allowed to do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Right, love you, buddy. Good night.
Love you too. Good night. Well, actually, I can't go to bed right now. I'm doing my laundry, so I'm going to stay up because I don't want Ron yelling at me and being charged $2.
Okay. Good night. Love you.
Good night. Love you too.
Good evening, people. Happy Soulfire Sunday. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. So, yeah. Oh, man, you know, I forgot something. I forgot to take this off. Let's see here. Take this off and add this. So how are we doing, peoples? It's a beautiful night. Yes, yes, yes. Happy Soulfire Sunday. And today's topic was, you're not tired. Well, actually, I am tired. You're just unaligned. See, you know, a lot of people think that they're too tired to get started on any of their dreams. They're too tired to do anything. You know, I work too much, so I can't start working on my business plan. I can't go back to school because I work too much. I can't start that new hobby because I'm too tired from working too much. But that's the thing, though, is that really we're just unaligned. We don't have our goals set up in there. We don't have our why. We don't have our desires. Hey, Alicia. We don't have our desires pushed out in front of us to make our life that much more exciting. You know, because we're not talking about resting. We're talking about realignment, refocusing on our goals, on our dreams, on our achievements that we want to have. We claim we want to have a good life. We claim we want to have a nice house. We claim we want to have a nice car. We claim we want to have all these nice things. But do we really put forth the effort? Or do we just say that we're too tired? We're too tired to put forth the extra mile. We're too tired to go start working out early in the morning and before we go to bed at night. Because I worked all day long, so I'm tired. You know, and you know what? What happens is that misalignment drains our energy faster than the actual work does. So like talking to kids. I want you to take the trash out. I don't want to take the trash out. Obi took the trash out. Patty took the trash out. It was my turn to take the trash out last week. And they whine and complain and blah, 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 blah. When you know what? It could have been just so much faster just to grab the bag out of the trash can and whoop, right out to the trash can back there and back. And it's faster now. Instead, you got to whine and complain about it for longer. People talk about how confusing, how people talk about how confused they are and how exhausted they are and how empty their life is without their dreams, but how exhausted they are because of how much work they're putting towards what they have, just to have what they have. Not realizing that they just did a little bit extra, they could have everything that they desire. It's like driving a car while pointing in a different direction. Which way am I going? Oh, that way. You know, and so where are you forcing yourself to go? I mean, sorry, somebody messaged me here. What do I do when I work 2 jobs already? Well, if you're working 2 jobs already, then something's going on that you really need to try and make a decision on. You know, I hate saying it like that, but maybe one of the jobs you're working on, you need to get rid of and find one that actually pays more. Or one of the things I was always taught was it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And I lived by that rule. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And what does that mean? Well, if you're trying and spending every single cent that you're making, then apparently maybe perhaps you're spending too much money. Maybe you have too much stuff to pay for. Might be time to pull back a little bit. Sort of like what I was talking about, the $7 coffees. $7 coffees times 5 days a week, that's $35 a week that you're spending on coffee. And if you get a coffee in the morning and a coffee at night on the way home, that's $70 a week. I don't know about you, but $70 a week on coffee, that's almost a day's worth of pay for some people. For some people. You know, and you got to really think about that. And my daughter pointed it out the other day, because that is actually how much she makes in a day. You know, and you know, it's just, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Find a slower internet service. Get a slower, a cheaper cell phone plan. You know, I don't know. I can't tell you what to do with your money, but I do know that it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. You know, so, and that allows you to open up doors, because if you're keeping more money in your pocket than what you make, maybe perhaps you won't have to work so hard on 2 jobs. And then you could try and take the more paying job and focus on going back to school, like you just said. And if you're able to go back to school, that'll help replace the income from the high-paying job to an even more high-paying job. It's an idea. I mean, it's an idea. And that's one of those things that you have to realign yourself. You have to decide what's best for you. You have to really decide what's best for you. You know, some of us get caught up in those subscription things where we have to try and pay $20 for Spotify and $24 for Netflix and $10 for Hulu and you know, $29 for, or no, I take that back. It's not $29 for Mediacom or Comcast or whatever it's called. It's like $100 and something for cable TV. It's like, geez, Christ. I haven't had cable TV in at least 30 years. And I'm shocked to find out how expensive it is. You know, and I only pay for Netflix because, well, the daughter decides to, but she pays for it now. She wants it, she pays for it. I pay for Spotify. I'll be honest on that one. Because of the fact I listen to it a lot. But I bought the family plan so that all of us so all of us can. Sorry, I had to kill an uncle. I buy the family plan for Spotify so that, you know, because it was just crazy that the kids were paying $18 a month for Spotify. I'm like, well, you know what? I'll just get the family plan. I use it. I upload to it. I listen to my mentor and stuff like that on there, and it you know, as much as I hate paying for things like that, but you know what? Got to do what we got to do. But you know what? That misalignment that we have, that misalignment steals your energy faster than any job relationship or responsibility that you have. Because see, you're not tired because you're weak. You're tired because you're doing things that don't match who you are anymore. It's like trying to walk north while your heart is pulling south. That tension drains you. You want to try and work for a company that is righteous and is a technology leader in a whole 9 yards, but they're focused on taking care of legacy software from like the 1980s. Where's the challenge in that? You know, so you have to question where the energy actually leaks. And what type of purpose creates the conflict? So you have to ask yourself, does this match my values? Does this match my vision? Is what I'm listening to, good night, bud, love you, is what I'm listening to going to take me where I want to go? And more importantly, does it match my energy? Because see, if something feels heavy every day, I guarantee you it's not aligned. It's not in your purpose. It's not in your dreams. It's not in your destiny. You might say you want it, but if it feels heavy, something's not right there. So what you need to do is there's 3 steps. 3 steps to realign yourself. Recognize. Notice what is draining you. That's the important first step. Notice what's draining you. You know, when you can see what's draining you, you're able to try and put a stop to it. That's important. Because if it feels forced, if it feels fake, it's draining you. It's taking away from your future. It's taking away from your destiny. It's taking away from your motivation. It's taking away from your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, the legacy that you want to leave. What drains you can actually kill you. It's like sucking the blood out of your veins. If you suck too much blood out of your veins, you're going to be dead because of the fact that you can't live without it. And so therefore, whatever is draining the energy from you, you got to get rid of it. You got to recognize it. You got to let go of it. That's part 2. You got to release. You got to release it. You got to let it go. You gotta let go of what no longer fits in your life. It's like decluttering. Every year, everybody goes through this whole process of emptying out their closets and getting rid of all the clothes that don't fit, or emptying out their pantries and getting rid of mismatched plates and mismatched bowls without lids and pots and pans and all the other crap. And they have big, huge garage sales and yard sales and the whole 9 yards, and because they get rid of it. Sometimes we have to do the same thing in here. Hey, thank you. Sometimes we have to do the same thing in here. Sometimes we have to try and release what's not in what drains us inside of here. Sometimes we have to let go of something that feels fake inside of our head, inside of our heart. Because if it drains us, if it sucks the energy out of us, we have to release it. We have to let it go. Get rid of those old roles that people expect us to lead. Get rid of those old expectations of ourselves that we expect ourselves to do. I mean, we're growing on a daily basis. We're not as good as we want to be, but we're a hell of a lot better than we used to be. Every day is a new day that we can build ourselves up and start fresh, learning from our achievements from the past. Rebuilding. The step 3 The third and final step, rebuild. The 3 R's. Recognize, release, rebuild. Rebuild on what gives you energy. Rebuild on what feels like it's you. There are things that we do that just makes us feel like wholesome and feels amazing, and we feel alive. And who cares what other people think? You know, my daughter had to do a Spanish assignment where she had to actually go in public and order food in public, all in Spanish, and record herself for her class. So we did that this evening at Taco Bell. And it was hilarious because as she's doing it, afterwards she's you know, talking to me. She's like, I felt like everybody's staring at me, looking at me like I'm weird. I'm like, why? She's like, cause I was ordering them in Spanish. I'm like, do people look at Spanish people weird when they try and order food in Spanish? Well, no. I'm like, why? She's like, because they're Spanish. I'm like, how do they know you're not Spanish? Maybe you're trying to learn English. Like, maybe perhaps you're just over amplifying it and you're letting it drain the energy from you because you're worried about what other people think. Who cares what they think? You're there to do something. You're there to focus on you and get yourself better. You're there to get your grade. She's like, you know what? You're right, Dad. She plowed right through it. Uploaded it to her school website thing that she needed to upload it to. And we proceeded to eat Taco Bell afterwards. So I got to get the Coke. And I don't really drink Coke that often. But you know what? It was good. Es muy bien. Muy bien. Gracias, mi amore, mi hijo. So, but you know what? That's the thing though. Is that you got to recognize what drains you, what feels forced, what feels fake around you. Then you got to let go of it. You got to release it, because whatever no longer fits, get rid of it. Get a new one. Get rid of those old habits. Get new ones. Get rid of those old roles. Get new ones. Get rid of those old expectations. Build new ones. And start choosing what gives you energy. Start choosing what feels like you. Start choosing what brings you peace, not pressure. Because peace will always beat pressure. Peace will be with you longer than pressure will. Pressure is a temporary thing. Pressure is an misunderstanding of what is going on. Pressure is allowing chaos to rule your life, as opposed to having that clarity, knowing that, hey, this is just a temporary thing. So yes, you don't need more sleep. You need more alignment. Need more alignment. Need more clarity. More. Oh, excuse me. I really should have drank the soda. Because you know what? The hidden cost. Because there's a cost to everything, you know. Nothing's free in life. The hidden cost of misalignment isn't just your energy draining. It drains your joy. Yeah. An example would be, you're tired of working, right? Your work gives you a lot of stress. That's because of the fact you're actually working on the wrong things. You're working in a field that you no longer challenges you. You're working in a field that no longer entices you. You're working in a field that no longer crap. The cat. Say hi, cat. Hi, cat. Go by, cat. You're working in a field that no longer challenges or entices you or gives you that challenge that you need. And that's really what your body and your mind desires, is a challenge to keep it fresh. And so what happens is it takes your joy out of life. You build up that dreadful feeling, oh no, it's another Monday. And the only joy you have is, thank God it's Friday. See, that is one of the costs of being misaligned. When you forget what your calling is, when you forget what your destiny is, when you forget what your dreams are, you get stuck in something that you really don't really appreciate. And you get burnout. Trust me, I know this. I know what burnout is. I've suffered it horribly. Not only did I get burnout, but I've also actually been burnt out of my house. Get it? Bad joke. We're talking about my house burning down 20-something years ago. No. I can joke about it now because of the fact that, you know what? It's what built who I am. I wouldn't be here right now talking to you, letting you know that, hey, life happens. And no matter how hard life gets, there's always something good that's going to come out of it for you. You just got to withstand that storm just a little bit longer. You just got to stand up and deal with it just a little longer. You just got to release the pain and the suffering and realize that, hey, it's going to go away and one day you're going to be blessed. You just got to find out what your alignment needs to be. It's in here somewhere. Because another hidden cost to your alignment is you get tired of people. Who here gets tired of people? I will admit, even I myself have that social interaction battery level goes up and down. Even Jesus Christ had that going on. Did I just say that? Jesus Christ, yeah. Yes, even Jesus Christ had that social level going up and down. Did he or did he not go into a temple and just start overthrowing all the tables and chairs and everything like that? Because he got tired of seeing how things were. Did he or did he not go to a wedding and get upset about the fact that people came up? I mean, he went to a wedding to have fun. I mean, how about you? What do you go to weddings for? You go to weddings to have a good time. No, he's at the wedding and they come up to him and say, hey, Jesus, we're out of wine and bread. And what does he do? Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, he didn't say that. He said, oh, me. He turns water into wine and bread into, fish into bread or whatever like that. I forgot all the details. But he turns all the water into wine. So the party keeps going and people stop bugging him. He's out walking on the hills. And he starts to have a following. Turns into an impromptu sermon on the mount where he has to feed all these people with bread and wine. Turning a miracle of all these loaves of bread and fish or whatever like that. So yes, even Jesus had his social battery get to a point. You're not tired of people. You're tired of being around the wrong people. Sometimes you got to cut those people out. You just go. Hit that ignore button on that cell phone. I mean, growing up in the 70s, we didn't have that. In the 70s, if we wanted to ignore someone, we took the phone and took it off the hook. That's how we ignored people. Or we closed the curtains and hid behind the door. My mama said I'm not home. How many people ever trying and had their, told their friends through the door that Mommy said I'm not home. I can't come out and play. How many people took their phone off the hook and left it off the hook and forgot to put it back on the hook and get yelled at by their parents the next day because they didn't want their friends coming over? Nowadays, it's easy. You don't want somebody calling you. You see the caller ID. Oh, yeah, ignore that bad boy. I don't want to talk to him. And if you really don't want to talk to him, you know what? Let's just options, block. And never have to see that person again. Look at that. Heck, I've even utilized it here on TikTok. We've had to block a couple of people that were less than positive influences. That's what I get for picking a cat up. Now my eyes are starting to itch. Yes, I'm allergic to cats and I have cats. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm not a smart motivational speaker, all right? Sometimes I wonder if this rock is smarter. Or at least the kids that wrote that are. The kids that wrote that are smarter than me. Nah, I love them. But you know what? You're not tired of people. You're tired of pretending to be around the wrong people. Smiling and giving the people that really don't deserve your time. You're not tired of life either. You're tired of living a life that doesn't feel like yours. You're living it for other people, making other people happy instead of yourself. Focused on making other people richer than focusing on yourself. Because see, when you are unaligned, even the small tasks feel heavy. But when you are aligned, when you have that dream, when you have that goal, when you have your destiny in your sight, even big tasks feel possible. When you're walking down a trail and you're looking down all the way down at the hill at the far end of the trail, totally bypassing the river and all the trees and stuff like that in between you and that hill that you want to get to, you're not looking at all the obstacles in the way. You're looking at the final result of where you want to go. Because you're aligned. When you take your eyes off your goal, that's when you start seeing all the yuck in between. That's when you start seeing the obstacles. And obstacles are the scary things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. You got to keep your eyes on them. You got to keep your eyes on your dreams. You got to keep your eyes there all the time. Always focused. Always within reach of what you want. Because you're not tired of living a life that doesn't feel like yours. You're tired of living a life that's not focused on your goals. You're tired of living a life that you're nowhere near your goals. See, the thing is your body is honest. It knows, your mind knows what's best for you. And it lies to you at times. See, your mind only tells you what you tell it. It's like a mirror. What you put into it is what comes out. For example, when you're around people that really drain you, what happens? You feel drained after being around them because your brain sucked in their energy and it pushed it right back out. You feel anxious before doing certain tasks. That's because your brain realizes that you're nervous about this, and so it pushes it right back out, letting you know that you're nervous. Whereas your body is like, hey, I don't care. Why do you think that champions practice so much? They practice so much so that the actual tournament is easy. You know, people feel heavy when they think about certain commitments that they have because they don't want to do it, really. And they feel restless about it, even when nothing is wrong. Because they know inside that is a path they don't want to go down. Because your energy is the compass. It points towards alignment. Your purpose needs to be hungry. So tonight I want you to write down what drains you. Is it people? Is it your job? Is it your house? Is it your work? Is it the people around you? And then I want you to try and circle the things that you've outgrown. Because some of these things aren't bad. They're just not you anymore. Because your life starts getting easier the moment you stop holding on to old things, old habits that aren't you anymore. Your life will get easier when you get rid of those energy drains. Your life will get easier when you get rid of those old patterns. Your life will get easier when you start rebuilding your alignment on where you want to go, what you want to do, who you want to be. Think about something you were doing. Think about something you were doing when you were younger, when you totally loved it. You had energy. You had focus. You had fire. That's alignment. Because see, when you're working on something you love, your energy rises. Your life matches your identity. So, you're not tired, you're just unaligned. You've lost where you want to go, where you want to be. And the moment you get back in position, that's when your strength will return. So I want you to try and start telling yourself tonight, I choose alignment. I choose clarity. I choose the life that fits me. Because I've withstood more than I know. I've owned more scars than people have seen. It's time I win in a way that nobody can ignore. It's time to step up and make my next move my loudest one yet. Because it is time for you to step up and realign yourself for your goals and your dreams. And start focusing on you instead of other people. Good night, everybody. Thank you and have an excellent evening.